Okay, I think I'm live. I ran up and downstairs like 8 times. How's everyone doing? Do I sound okay? I have the microphone further away. Let me know how this sounds. I worked all day, not all day, but a good chunk of today getting something set up so so I can open up toys and not sit at my desk over there to do it. So let me know. Try singing. Um, Singing. How was that? Was that good? Was that a good? Give me a song to sing. I don't know. It has to come. It has to come to me. It has to come to me. I can't just sing. Hi, Jonah. Who we got? We got unboxing art hanging out right here. Wilbon, of course. Mike Case also in here. The zooist boy I know. Commander Cook is here. Graydon, unfried, is also here. Hi, Jonah. I'll keep rolling, 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 rolling. Is that is that the song? That's all I know. Jive talking. Hold on. Of all the Bee Gees songs, you choose Jive talking? Happy Together? I mean, maybe. Fugman says peaches. Millions of peaches. Peaches for me. Like that. Rolando Flores. My bad. Samuel Edwards. Jim Mason. How's it going, buddy? Prophet 924. Oh, Papa G's on? I didn't even see if he was on. I was like all day. All day I was like, I gotta stream today. I meant to stream yesterday and just time got away from me. And today I was like, no, I gotta stream because if I don't stream today, I'm not gonna stream again. I'm not gonna have a chance until next week. And then that's like 2 weekends in June that I haven't streamed. So I wanted to I wanted to get a stream in. Do a cold on the cob. Gordon! It's too high. I started too high on that one. That was my bad. Anyway, corn on the kebab. That's how the song goes. Those are the lyrics. Nathan, I'm here to leave work. Oh, in 20 minutes. Okay. I mean, I'm glad that you could do that. Oh, jeez. I don't. I ask for songs, and you guys are giving me gold. Uh, Ever thought of cosplaying Queen Amidala? Every day of my life. That's all I ever think about. Is cosplaying Queen Amidala. I think I look just like Natalie Portman, and that says more about her than it does me. Happy late birthday, unboxing art. I'm so glad that you could be alive for as many years as you are alive. Um, as you can see here, I've got toys. Man, that looks crazy. The bounce on there, like the background looks like it's shaking, but like the foreground's not shaking. That's weird. I don't know if I like this. Sing Kiss of Life by Sade. No, if I'm gonna sing Kiss of anything, it's gonna be Kiss by a Rose. Da 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 da. There used to be a great tower alone on the sea. You became the light on the dark side of me. I have to I have to stand for the love remains. There we go. That's hard to hit that note, especially when I haven't been warming up my voice. My just jump scare mic hand. Rah! uh, well, you guys are fun. Godzilla. I thought you meant you wanted me to sing Godzilla, like the song, like the Blue Oyster Cult song. But yeah, that's just my big hand. Did I see that McFarlane Batman? I did see the Batman Forever line. I did see that. Um, I don't think I'm gonna get any, but I have to say, I mean, what year did that movie come out? 94, I think it was. I was 12, so that was like prime Mike Case, like movie watching into Batman. Like I was a little young for Batman '89. I remember it coming out, and like my parents wouldn't let me watch it until it came on TV one time, and I could watch it then because they figured it would be like edited for TV. But that, and especially Batman Returns, way too violent for little Mike Case. But Batman, what is that? Batman. Yeah, I think that one's my favorite Batman, but mostly because that was the one I could watch. Batman Forever was the one I could watch, and I didn't. I thought Michael Keaton was a better Batman than Val Kilmer, but I thought Val Kilmer was pretty cool. And obviously you got Chris O'Donnell as Robin. Finally, you get a Robin. Um, I don't know. Like I would, in hindsight, I'm gonna say I don't think Jim Carrey was a good choice for the Riddler. I think he was too obvious of a choice for the Riddler, but at the time it was like the perfect choice because like Jim Carrey, I just feel like he played the Riddler too much like Joker. But yeah, Batman and Robin. I remember seeing that with my dad in theaters. Was that 96, 97? I think I was a junior in high school, maybe a sophomore in high school. Um, yeah, I think I think choosing Arnold Schwarzenegger to play Mr. Freeze was certainly a choice. That was certainly a choice that they made. Yeah, so I'm glad I'm not the only one to see that. Like he was too silly to be the Riddler. He was more of a Joker or some other kind of zany, wacky character, which I never saw the Riddler as like zany and wacky. Like maybe whimsical, but like he was at an 11 and he should have been at like a 7 in terms of whimsicalness. Like he hammed it up too much. I Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy was just fine. It was weird they put Bane in there. It was weird they didn't make Bane like the main plot of the movie. They just made him a big dumb bruiser guy instead of the person who figured out that Bruce Wayne was Batman and then dismantled Batman's entire life before breaking his back. But what are you gonna do? That was back before they treated comic book movies seriously. They put nipples on the bat suit and they had close-up shots of bat butts. So, Amanda Love 704. How's it going? Would you get the upcoming Chris Reeve Superman? No, not. I mean, I can't think of any DC. If the Lobo on the space bike didn't get me, I honestly can't think of any DC figure McFarlane could do to get me to buy it. I've bought two of their McFarlane DC toys. I got the Superman Unchained and the Hellbat back when those first came out. Was that back in like 2018, whatever? When McFarlane first got that license, maybe it was like 2019. And I like those, but like I didn't love them. So I'm not gonna get any more of those. I think I'm done. Yeah, I get that. Because the Frank Gorshin Riddler from the TV show was a little campier. That's true. Zoo Boy, you can try. You can try, but I don't think it's gonna happen. But you'd be more likely to convert me into getting like Jada Toys Street Fighter figures, which is another line that I've sworn I won't buy any of. But unlike the DC one where it's just not a lot of interest there for me, um, I'm afraid that I'll like the Street Fighter toys too much. And if I buy one, I'll have to buy more. So that's not gonna happen. If they dropped a Batman Returns, yeah, I mean Michelle Pfeiffer was a great Catwoman, but no, I'm not gonna get that. Yeah, I mean all of them look great. The Bison looks fantastic. I mean none of the ones I've seen that they've made so far have looked less than stellar. I definitely like they look like they've got great articulation. They look spot on. I just I have to cut myself off at some point from just collecting new lines, and I think I'm at my limit. Like even some of the lines that I currently collect are suffering. Like I have cut back drastically on Transformers. I I still buy Transformers every now and again, but like hardly, especially compared to previous years where I've bought every wave from every line that they've done. I just don't need to. Like I mean I'm focusing on these guys right here. These little chupacabras right here are eating all my money. I've got a freaking uh I've got a there's a new wave of Mythic Legions that I want to buy, and I'm going to. I'm just kind of putting off doing it because you don't have to until until the time's up because they charge up front. Um, have you ever bought a play toy figure? No, I've never bought a play toy figure ever. I've got a hot toy figures, but no play toys. The Hyatt Toys Rambo is pretty dope. I'm sure it is. I Rambo is one of those things that I don't think I like Rambo enough to own anything Rambo. I had when I was a kid, I had the Rambo Big Wheel. I'm pretty sure it was the Rambo one and not the Knight Rider one. I'm pretty sure I had the Rambo one. Because I'm pretty sure the Rambo one had some guns on the front. I don't think the Knight Rider one did, but it might have. But like that's the only Rambo anything I've ever owned. And I just like I like the movies just fine. Like I remember I never watched First Blood until I was an adult and it just was not what I expected. I don't know if you've ever seen First Blood out there. But like whenever you think of like Rambo movies, it's you're always thinking Rambo 2, maybe even Rambo 3, where he's just shirtless running around sweating, shooting people and explosions. First Blood is not that at all. It's like it's a poignant movie about how terrible we treat veterans and how much they need help and how much help we don't give them. And it's just like it's a great movie, but it's just not what you expect when you think I'm going to sit down and watch a Rambo movie. It's not what you think. But yeah, it is really good. 100%. But it stands out. Like it's not the same thing. Rambo 3 is the best one, Samuel says. Honestly, in my brain it's been so long since I've seen them. I don't think I could tell you the plot of either Rambo 2 or Rambo 3, and I don't think I could tell you the difference between the two, but I remember I've seen them. I didn't see the Rambo 4. I didn't see that one. The remake one that he did when he's like, "Hey, I'm old now. What if I redid movies that I was a star of 30 years ago, 20 years ago?" I think First Blood is the best one objectively. I think it's objectively a good movie. It's just not the movie you expect it to be. Hasbro did it again. Got some really cool Joes coming out. Pre-ordered Alpine and Storm Shadow. Yeah, same. I mean, I pre-ordered that whole wave for sure. And I'm gonna pre-order. I think I'm gonna pre-order all the retro ones for sure. Definitely the Cobra Commander. The Cobra Commander looks fantastic. I almost like when because I wasn't watching when they were announcing it. Dan was actually feeding me information because I was in Florida and was hanging out with family. And I couldn't sit down and watch it, so Dan's like texting me information as they're announcing it, and I remember he said, "Was it Stalker?" And I'm like, "I've got Stalker. I don't need a retro Stalker." And then I saw Retro Stalker, and I was like, "Okay, I need a Retro Stalker." And then was it the Cobra Trooper looks so good. I honestly might get two of them, and then like sell or just get rid of the other like the Cobra Island Cobra Troopers that I've got because I don't need that many troopers, and I think these new ones look better. They're what I wanted from a Cobra Trooper. I remember the animated Rambo. I remember the cartoon that came out around the same time as the Chuck Norris cartoon, if I remember right. I think that was like late 80s, like 88, 89, something like that. Anyways, I want to. I've seen like 1,500 movies in my life and have somehow never seen dude, you gotta watch at least the first one. But I feel like you should watch at least the first three Rambo movies. At the very least, the first three Rambo movies. Um, but I was kind of the same way with Alien and Predator movies. Like I remember them being a thing, but I never actually sat down and watched them until I was way, way, way older. And I was like, I'm just gonna watch some aliens, all the Alien and Predator movies, and I even watched like the Alien versus Predator movies. I had a whole marathon with myself. I showed myself a good time, but I feel like they're movies everyone should watch once. But First Blood is just a really good movie. Still debating if I should back the Mos Eisley Cantina Haslab. Well, I'm always of the opinion that if you're on the fence about a Haslab, you should back it because it literally costs $0 to back. At least if you're backing on Hasbro Pulse, there's no charge whatsoever. Like that doesn't hit your card or anything, and you can always cancel it. But it helps with those numbers, and even if you end up canceling it, you getting a number in early might help someone else decide to do that. And if you they don't know if you cancel yours or not, you know. So that's what I do is if I'm thinking about it, even if it's like a Kickstarter, like I might not stay on a Kickstarter the whole time to the end. Like the Expanse figures were like that for me. I was very excited they were doing Expanse figures. Was it Nacelle Toys was doing Expanse figures? And I backed two of them, but when we were getting towards the end, I'm like, I don't really need these figures, and I canceled them. But like, I wanted at least for a little bit to help bolster those numbers. Um, so I'm just like it doesn't hurt to back it, and then like I said, you can always cancel it. Even if you forget to cancel it, like you can cancel it and they'll give you your money back. They're pretty good about that. Let's see. Yeah, man, dude, I miss Blockbuster nights so much. Like going to Blockbuster, looking at all the videos, renting one, buying some candy. we got. I remember when my parents we bought the Jurassic Park VHS from a Blockbuster one night. We got a free popcorn bowl to go with it. I remember we got our first DVD player from Blockbuster. They had a special where like if you bought a DVD player from them, you got a free movie to go with it. And the movie I got to choose was Gladiator. That was my first like DVD movie. Um I miss those times. Those were fun times. Yeah, the Alien vs Predator movies are not good. They're not. They're not even so bad they're good, which is a shame because it's always like there's different levels of bad, where like there's good, there's bad, and it's like so bad that it's kind of good where you can at least enjoy kind of how bad it is. But to me, those movies aren't even that. Thoughts on Final Fantasy 16 Bring Arts Torgal? Oh, I didn't even know it existed until you said this. I played the crap out of Final Fantasy 16 when it came out. Like I beat it that weekend. I took time off from work. I didn't do anything but play Final Fantasy 16. My wife was out of town that weekend. I just played Final Fantasy 16. And I love my good boy Torgal. So I'm always down for some pets, from animals. I almost said aliens. I'm always down for animals. So we'll see. 100% agree. That's what swayed Nate and I today. We both backed. I just didn't want to miss out. Yeah, so that's the problem is you get that FOMO where like you can't undo that. It's not like when you pass on a pre-order on a figure and you go, "Oh, I'll just pick it up at retail or something." Like that's you don't do that. It doesn't work that way with Haslabs. And like Wilbon says here, you can always back it and flip it. And if you're gonna back it, even if you want to keep it, but maybe you don't want the deluxe one, you should back the deluxe one and sell the deluxe parts because there's going to be someone out there where they didn't back the cantina, but like someone, you're selling your deluxe third of the set, however whatever percentage that set is. It's like a third of the wall. Like there's someone out there that will pay like $200 for that, and that's like half the cost of your cantina or whatever. So I feel like if you have the money and it's something that's even a little interesting to you, do it. I'm not going to, but I really hope that it makes it for the people that want it, for the people that want to sell it. I have no problem buying it just to flip, because made to order items like this, like everyone benefits from it. No one doesn't benefit from people buying Haslabs to flip them, because if no one bought one to flip, there would be no Haslabs for people to buy after it ends. Like they don't make extras to sell. That's it. So if no one bought any to sell, that would be it. There would be no aftermarket at all for it. So um it's just it's kind of is what it is. Uh, I've heard that the Bring Arts are fragile. I don't own any, so I really can't say. Chief Chief Cheeks, I love that name, Chief Cheeks. Favorite Cosmic Legion from the new wave? That's really tough. I'm gonna say probably Scourge right here, but I do love this red pilot. Now these are the only three I have from the new wave so far. I'm probably gonna pick up. I don't remember her name, but the alien girl. I'm probably gonna pick her up. I don't need the gray alien dude. I don't think I'm gonna get him, and I don't think I'm gonna get the bug, this Phyrexian mining worker or whatever. So I don't think I'm gonna get those, but I'm probably gonna pick up the other girl with the soft goods, Callian. I think that is her name, Callian. Yeah. You could probably sell the carded figures and make back. Oh yeah, for sure, easily. Like, especially if you piece out the Haslab, there are people that will pay for just specific parts for it for sure. And especially if it doesn't sell that well, because you have to think about this. The Haslabs that do sell well, that means that there's more of them out there, which means that it will be harder to sell them on the aftermarket because there will be more. There's more. There's more supply. Whereas, like, let's say this one doesn't fund all the way, like it only funds and maybe gets a tier or two. Um, the worse it does in the campaign, the better it is to sell afterwards because there's fewer ones, and there's always going to be people. There's always going to be people that change their mind or wish they had it or whatever. Um, so I don't know. Like again, I have no skin in the game. I'm like Hasbro's not paying me money to say this. I don't care if you buy it at all, but I do care that people get their tonic assisters, and I feel like that's something that people really deserve. And it sucks that you have to spend $400 to get them, but I understand. And yeah, if you could hit that like button, that'd be cool. Um, that's not even my full review. I was away all last week. I meant to record a video before time got away from me, so I couldn't do the full video. So I was like, I want to get something. Like I want to do the instructions just so people can have something, because I know there's gonna be people getting the droid and going like, what do I do with this? How do I turn this into a ball? Because like there's no instructions. So I prioritized getting that video out, and then I have a script for the full review that I'm going to film and edit. I'm going to try to have it up this week. Work's calmed down a little. I can get that done. I was going to do it this weekend, but I just got back. I got back on Thursday. We were supposed to get back on Wednesday, but we had a whole thing. And we got stuck in a layover in Dallas overnight, and I was exhausted. I was wiped, so I didn't want to like go straight into making videos as soon as I got back. So I've just kind of been relaxing and watching TV and playing video games and stuff. But I will make that this week for sure. That was another reason why I wanted to get this done here, as I wanted to get something started. I wanted to get a video up so people can watch it. My dad considered backing flipping. And honestly, there's no problem doing that. And so it's not, and I say this every time because there's always people like, I can't believe you're telling people to scalp these. You can't scalp these, because scalping isn't just buying something and selling it for more. It's buying up a stock. It's buying up a supply and then controlling how much it sells for, because you have bought up the available supply. You can't do that with these because everything's made to order. So they'll make as many as people buy. But like I said, if no one buys any to sell on the aftermarket, like there won't be any for people to buy on the aftermarket. If you don't back it now, you're beholden to the people that did buy it to sell it. You're relying on those people to do that. So at that point, you have to just pay whatever the going rate on the aftermarket is. That's just how it works. If you wanted to get it cheaper, now is your time. You have the next 28 days, 27 days or whatever to back it. Yes. God, I honestly, I wish. I genuinely would love it if I got paid to talk about toys. It would be my dream job. If Hasbro or any toy company would just pay me money to sit here and talk about toys. And anyone who says differently is absolutely lying. There's not one toy collector out there that would not do that. But no, yeah, posing the Droidica right it can be a challenge for some people, I'm noticing. You're going to spend $350 to $400 for a classified Rattler. If you like it and can afford it, treat yourself. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be in the same boat. I definitely need a Rattler for sure. I think if they did it like fan channel exclusive, or if they did it, I want them to do more stuff like they did with the Jabba's Palace, or the 2-pack, the Arf, was it the Chopper and Sabine, where it's just open for a specific amount of time, and it's not like a Haslab, but like you have a window to pre-order it, and then they cut off that pre-order, and then that's how many they make. I would love it if they did stuff like that for Black Series. GameStop is getting like one per store as a high, and as high as that price. I'm curious how many builders are going to get these Droidicas. I've got two. I've got two Droidicas. I've got one. I bought two because I feel like you need at least two if you're gonna set up a diorama or have pictures or photography or something like that. So, but I don't think I'm gonna buy more than two. They just take up too much room, and like you said, that $33 price tag adds up real fast. Hope the Cantina Haslab goes bonkers, and the lesson Hasbro takes from it is we want more Cantina aliens. I agree. 100% agree. Mike, what do you mean I support Black Series Cantina on Patreon? I do pay you to talk about them. Okay. What I meant was not people. I meant like companies. But I get it. And I thank you for that. I genuinely am very thankful for anyone that supports me on my YouTube channel or our Black Series Cantina Patreon. I got rid of my own Patreon if you haven't seen that video. How about I open some toys though, huh? I worked hard, and I've been in this little square up here, and you've been looking at this weird selection of toys. I bought these. I'm trying to get this out of the way here. There we go. I got these. Trying to. This is weird. This setup is weird. I don't know if I'm going to keep it like this or not, but I was trying to think of a cool way to kind of do this where it wasn't so cramped. But I've got, these are the Figura Obscura figures from 4 Horsemen. We've got Anubis and we've got Bastet, essentially the god of death, and then again, I think she's like the goddess of fertility. If I'm remembering right, Skibbity Toilet. When I went to Florida to visit my parents because my mom was retiring from being a teacher, and they got a new toilet in like one of their bathrooms, and I walk out and like my niece is there, and she's like 15. And I walk up to her and her friends, and I'm like, "Did my parents get a new toilet in there?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Is that a Skibbity toilet? Is that a Skibbity toilet that I've heard so much about?" And it embarrassed her just the right amount of way that I was hoping that it would. So yeah. Anyway, let's do Anubis first because I feel like Anubis is cooler than Bastet. But yeah, we got Anubis here. I love these little things. These are magnetic. Look at this. That's kind of cool. Like it's like a DM screen. Like it's pretty good. It's a cool little backdrop of like I think these are like the gates of Anubis or something. I'm not sure. I don't know anything about this. I pretend like I do. I don't know jack. Thanks, Wilbon. It was an elite dad joke. I just really wanted to embarrass her just a little bit. Like not so much where she would die or anything, but like just so much where she'd be like, "Oh my god, Uncle Mike, you're the worst." You know. Anyways, let's take a look here. See what we got. It's been so long since I've seen anything about this. I kind of forgot what's in it. So we get a cool little pamphlet. That's the first thing everyone wants to see, right? Is a cool little pamphlet. We're not gonna look at that. But here we go. Look at that. Look at that. Comes with a cool little like Anubis altar thing. So I think that would go well if you have. Ooh, everything's falling out. If you have like any Indiana Jones figures. Oh, look at that. We got hands. That's kind of cool. I feel like this would go well with some indie figures. Got a little staff here. I think that's when I was talking to some friends about this. I think one of the biggest problems with this guy is he's an action figure based on like a real thing. He doesn't really come with any weapons. So I don't know what weapons Anubis would come with. Like it's not gonna come with a sword or a knife. But like it kind of sucks buying an action figure where like he doesn't have weapons. Let's see. Okay, so we have Anubis here. I'm looking at the screen because like I can't see the phone. It's also kind of weird. There we go. All right. Look at that. Looks really good. I'm hoping, because sometimes with these figures, you got to kind of heat up the joints. I'm hoping that this doesn't need that so much. Got some decent, about a 90-degree bend there. That's not so bad. Got a good amount of waggle on that torso. Got some soft goods, and it's wired, so you can kind of pose it. Landspeeder Luke would hate that. Got a got kind of a swivel and a bend on the knees. He's got these little kitty paw feet. I guess they're not kitty. I guess he's a dog. So just kidding, not a kitty. Dog. It's kind of. I mean, it looks good. See you, Jim. Thanks for hanging out. But yeah, like he looks really, really good. I definitely like that. You could put Anubis on my video game shelf since he's in Pal World. Oh, that's fun. I haven't actually played Anubis yet. Or not Anubis, Pal World yet. And in fact, I haven't heard anyone really mention it since it came out. Everyone was like, oh my god, Pal World's like Pokemon with guns. And then, like, I haven't heard, like, after that initial week or so, I haven't heard anyone talk about it. So I didn't even know if anyone was still playing it or not. All right, well, let's look at some of his accessories. So let's put him here. So he comes with some alternate heads. He's got this kind of open mouth one, and then it's got this little part here because I believe, yeah, the little headdress thing just kind of pops off, so you can pop it onto here, and that looks pretty cool. I guess if you wanted to, you could just take it off, but then you have this weird little nubbin on the back of his head. But I guess depending on how you pose it, you don't have to worry about it. And then he comes with this head, which is more like a statue, where it has like some sculpting like it's stone, which is pretty cool. So if you want him to look more like kind of a statue, you can. So he's got this little piece right here, which is pretty cool. And he's got this little thing for him to carry it. Let's see here. It's notched to go in a specific way. There we go. So we got that. Oh, I think this is the tail. Is this the tail? Looks like the tail. Let's see. Is that a tail? What? I don't know if that is a tail or not. It doesn't stay in. I think it is, because I don't see what would be a tail otherwise. It's a weird looking tail, that's for sure. And it's shaped differently than the hole, because this is like a little bit more ovalish than the hole on the butt. I don't, is that, is there like an adapter or something that I'm missing? Because that does not seem like it would go. Oh wait, no, I think this is his tail. I think this is his tail. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's the tail for this. I see. If someone's yelling at me in chat, I can't see it right now. It's the tail for this. I see. I see. I see. I see. It's the tail for that. There we go. I figured it out. And then this goes. Whoop. let's get this lined up on here. It's kind of hard. Doesn't want to. Huh. All these little holes do not want to line up. Yeah. Oh. Hey, the lid comes off. Hold on. Let's see if I can work my way down here. That might just be as good as it gets for now. And then we will pop that there. And then that will sit up like so. Is that right? Oh, it's notched. I see. Hold on. So it goes this way. Okay. There we go. So we have there. I can't get that back one to go all the way down. I'll try. I might need to like heat it up. But he does have a tail. It's this. I don't know. Sometimes with Mythic Legions, you gotta like heat up the ball or the hole to make sure. Oh wait, that just went right in. That's nice. Okay. And then it's bendy. Yeah. There we go. I think I don't know if I want this to go over. I think that looks good. I don't want it to go in. I think that looks better. So there we go. That's pretty cool. Let's see. What else does he come with? He comes with an alternate neck piece, and that matches the head that's a statue. It's got the same kind of sculpting where it looks like it's cracked stone. So that goes with that. There's a little stand I know that goes with this little kind of little Eye of Ra thing, I think it is. So you have a little spot to kind of stand it. And then he's got an Ankh. Sculpting and paint's really good. He's got some alternate feet. So if you want to give him more human feet instead of these little doggy feet, you can do that. He's got this jar. Is it open? Yep, it opens. There's nothing in there, just in case you're curious. But it does open, which is pretty cool. Well, that's a great sculpting there. But the thing is, if I'm being honest, I mean, and I try to be honest, like there's no point in not being honest about this. Like this is cool. It's cool that he comes with this stuff. But the majority of this, I'm never, ever, 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 ever going to display. Like this thing, this is cool, but what am I going to do with this? I don't know what I'm going to do with this. It's just going to sit there. It's going to go in my little baggie of stuff, and that's it. Let's pop his head off. Let's put on his little screaming jackal head or whatever. I think it's a jackal. Is he a jackal? There we go. All right, like that. That looks rad. Let's get him in a cool like, cause he's got claws and stuff. I know I haven't been paying attention to chat. Give me a sec. I will. Oh. 'Cause this is Thriller. Thriller night. And no one's gonna save you. Yeah, that looks pretty good. You know what? The antiques can go in Ondar's thing. That's actually a really good... That's a good idea. I probably would have thought of it at some point. Yeah, I knew someone was going to say that. As soon as I figured it out, I'm like, I'm sure someone's been screaming at me that it's the tail for the statue. I'm glad I figured it out. Let's see. New update is coming in a couple weeks. I'll go back to it. That's cool. Shrine storage box is pretty much what it is. Where did I get these? They're available from Toy Snowman. It's tempting. Yeah, I got these directly from Four Horsemen on their websites, Source Horsemen, Store Horsemen. But I don't think they're available to get from there anymore. So if you want to get them, places like Toy Snowman are going to be your only bet, at least for now. Just gonna pop this back in here, and he does come with some extra hands and stuff here. So we got just regular. So he's got some like human hands, and he's got some like open hands and stuff. There's a lot. There's how many different pairs of hands do we have here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 pairs of hands, and then so 5 counting the ones that came on there. So you know it's got a decent amount of stuff here. I do like that. I mean, there we go. Oh no! The Headless Horseman is fantastic. I love the Headless Horseman. What's up, I Collect? How you doing, bud? It does look like a Beerus figure for sure. For anyone that follows me on any social medias, I got my nephew into Dragon Ball when I was in Florida, and I checked today to see where he is. Again, when I left on Wednesday, where did we? I think we had just gotten to Namek. Well, they're watching Dragon Ball Z Kai, so it's going pretty fast. But I just checked today because he's using my Hulu account. He is, I'm pretty sure he's well into Cell. And so it's been like 3 days. And he's like well into Cell. I haven't like messaged him to ask him what he thinks about it, but I'm pretty proud of him. Like he's just binging right through all of Dragon Ball. Anyway, so that's Anubis, and it is a good figure. Like it looks really good. It's got a lot of great accessories. It's got great amount of articulation, and the sculpting and all the details, super nice. But I do have one more. Now this is a 2-pack. Like you had to buy both. You couldn't just buy Anubis or just buy Bastet. You had to buy both. So it was I think it was $120 to get both Anubis and Bastet, which is about the price of what 2 of their figures cost, I guess. Because these are deluxe figures. They come with more stuff. Like a normal priced figure, like one of their basic figures, is about $37. They go for $50 at retail outside of the in stock Headless Horseman pricing. So you know it's not bad considering all the stuff it comes with. It's really not that bad. So here we have Bastet. She is a kitty goddess. She comes with a basket. And this, she comes with that. She's got a couple more jars here, which is neat. So we got some jars to go with the Anubis jar. That's pretty good. Yeah, it was. I mean, honestly, it took me a while. Like usually on these, in the past, I've just absolutely jumped on figure obscura. Some Wukong, all of those, didn't even question it. But as soon as I saw like you had to get both, there's two of them. Do I really care about Egyptian gods that much? You know, I genuinely had to think about it, and ultimately I thought I'm gonna regret it if I don't get it, because I kind of like having a full collection of figure obscura. I don't have any of the recolor ones. They've been doing after the initial offerings, they'll do like recolor retail appreciation ones. So like they did Father Christmas in red, and then the recolor was in green. They did a black Krampus, and the recolor was in red. They did a Sun Wukong that's all in gold. The recolor of what is the recolor of the Headless Horseman glows in the dark, and that's the only one where I'm like I kind of wish I had that one, like the glow in the dark, and I like the coloring on it a little bit better than the first edition one. Oh, these are kind of in there. Hold on. I'm gonna get all the stuff out before I play with it. It's a lot of it's very similar to what Anubis had, obviously without the giant Anubis statue. Although she does come with a kitty statue. It's just not as big as the Anubis statue. But this is kind of stuck in there, and it's got a little spot on the back, so I'm a little worried about breaking the handle or something. I don't want to. There we go. All right. Let's get all these little hands out. There we go. So yeah, these basically cost $60 a piece, which I think for all the stuff it comes with, and you know the quality of the figure, the sculpting, the soft goods. I think that that's about right for what it is. Like it's not something that I would regularly spend that much money on. But these are so rare, and they come out like they only do 3 of these a year. They do kind of a weird summer one, then they do a Halloween one, then they do a Christmas one. There we go. So this is the weird summer one. And that is Bastet, and she looks really good. Look at that head. Honestly, yeah, I would watch Dragon Ball Z. No. So yes, hold on, hold on. I would watch Dragon Ball Z Kai. That's the best way to experience Dragon Ball Z. Then, if you want to, you can try watching all of Dragon Ball Z regular. It's a slog. There's a lot of filler. But if you want my favorite way of watching Dragon Ball, that is the Team 4-Star Dragon Ball Abridged. It starts off as just like a It starts off as just like a parody of the dub and kind of making fun of it, but it evolves into so much more, and the people doing it get so much better at voice acting and editing. It is hands down my favorite way to watch Dragon Ball Z, and it's definitely more adult. I wouldn't let my nephew watch it, for instance, but at least not at his age. But yeah, I find it a lot more fun to watch the Dragon Ball abridged from Team Four Star. Let's uh let's see what the heads are about. She's got a head that she comes with, and again, same thing. She's got a bunch of different hands. She's got regular people feet if you want those instead of her little kitty feet. And this time she does come with kitty feet. So she's got this head here, which is just. I think this looks more like Beerus than the other one, honestly. Like, oh, like if I could put. Hold on. Like that's closer to Beerus than anything. The head's a little small for the ball joint. I wonder if I could put the. No, I don't think so. But like that's closer to Beerus. Let's see. Next time on Dragon Ball, let's see. All right, so we got this head. Where's her other head? She has like a couple heads, and they all kind of look the same to me. I think the difference is just the kind of the ornateness. So like this one doesn't have a thing on the back. So if you just want a kitty head, that's that one. This one, what's the difference in these two? I think just the sculpt. This one has like a little scarab, and this one has I don't know some kind of is it like a cobra? Some kind of more ornate design on it. And then does she also have like a statue one? Yeah, I think this is the statue type one. Yeah, it is. So she also has like a statue type head, and then again she's got hands to kind of go with that. So it all works out. I do like this little kitty statue though. Like this is fun. Like this is the kind of stuff that I like, where it's just fun little 6-inch scaled stuff. Like this 100% will go with my Doc Onder set. That's exactly what this is gonna do, and probably a lot of this stuff too. Like this little lion head thing. I don't know what this is for. I think that's what these little display pieces are for right here. So it would kind of make it like a museum. And again, we'll have Indiana Jones kind of swing them by to take a look at them. And then she's got that little thing right there. I wonder. Let's try a non-head dress. There we go. I like it. I wish she had something with her little kitty mouth like open, kind of like the Anubis one does, because that's definitely something I like a little bit better. Oh, I see. That's just that. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, she's got a lot of great articulation. The jade artifact, huh? All right, I'll be careful with it. I mean, I try to be careful. I assume, especially with stuff like this, I assume everything's gonna break. So I really try to be careful with this stuff, especially from uh, the Four Horsemen. Like I've had a couple of things kind of break on me through just normal usage, and that's one of the things that's different between like Hasbro or Mattel, whereas they make their stuff for mass consumers. Like they make their stuff to be for little kids to be playing with and putting in their mouths and whatnot. But Four Horsemen don't. They don't do that. That's not what their stuff is for. Their stuff is for people my age, and that's why they're $60 for a figure instead of 25. Yeah, I agree, Wobon. It's not something. I'm assuming you're watching Dragon Ball. You're talking about the abridged. It's definitely not something I would say watch instead of watching Kai if you've never seen it before. But after I've seen it, I think I like it better than what we've got. But it also only goes up to sell, and they're not doing boo or anything. So there's always going to be that. Yeah. So those are figure obscura. That's nice. And again, I did also get just to kind of show you a size difference here. Uh, these are almost they're almost Stargate esque figures, which is kind of fun. But this is the Scourge. He is big. He's the third figure I have with this body type. The first one was Kragnar. He's got the same body, but he's got a different head and he's got four arms. And you can actually see on the back of his body here where there are plugs right here, to where you could take these out and put more arms in if you want to. But then there's also the blue dragon, Arakagor. One of my favorites. Absolutely love Arakagor. Let's see. And then this is the red pilot. Oops. Oh no, everything's falling because I bumped it. Probably could put him in a more stable pose, but like, where's the fun in that? Anyways, this is the red pilot here from Cosmic Legions. I love all of this. Like, I've essentially bought this guy 10. I mean, you see it in the thumbnail. These are all basically the same figure with some slight molding differences because a lot of this stuff is modular. Um, like, this whole chest piece right here comes off, and you can put like an alternate back piece on. He doesn't come with one, but some of them do. Like, was it Sligor? Comes with a way to make this and the other ones, so you can buy a bunch of them and have a bunch of different, um, just kind of ways to display it. And then also we've got Operative 83. This guy is essentially, so this is a Motu homage for Whiplash. Is that right? I think. And then this is a Motu homage for Manny Faces. And that is his robot head. He also comes with a human head and a monster head. Excuse me. And I like that a lot. Wow. Why does my thing say Dig Bong Energy? I don't remember typing that out. Let's change that. I genuinely don't remember typing Dig Bong Energy. What the heck? What are my favorite? We need to make. Oh, so bro, I was like, what are you talking about, Brendan Fraser? That makes sense. The Mummy, I get it, and I agree. One of my favorite reveals from the new Mythic Wave. Oh, probably probably the. I really like the Angel and I really like the Blue Knight, but I think probably the Thief Kitty. If I had to choose one, I think it would be the Thief Kitty. But I really do like the Blue Knight and I like the Angel. And when they showed off the gold skeleton, I was like, oh yeah, that's an easy pass. I don't need a gold skeleton, especially because it was like an old style skeleton. I don't I love the newer skeletons they've done for like Necronominus and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I want a new skeleton. I don't want an old skeleton. But then they were like, they're gold because they're angel bones, and he comes with the translucent angel wings. And I was like, well, damn. Now I want that. So I think I'm gonna get the Blue Knight. I'm gonna get the angel and then the skeleton angel, and then I'm gonna get the thief kitty. And I think that's all I'm gonna get, at least from the initial reveals, like the initial little pre-order phase. I might change my mind and get some down the road. Like order from Big Bad Toy Store or something like that. I usually do that where I don't I don't go all in because I don't want them all. Um, but I'll have some where like I want them as soon as they ship them out, and then there's some where like I'll wait and pay for those later. From like Big Bad Toy Store or Toy Snowman or something like that. It probably was from VIP chat. We we get a little crazy in the Black Series Cantina VIP chat. Let me swap. Let me swap over. I have. There we go. We don't need to see these toys anymore. I think I'm done with the toys. This was a real problem, and it's a bigger issue because with the original Manny Faces toy that it's homaging, like you just switch the heads, like they're all one head and you switch them. Whereas this, because it's an homage, you're actually swapping heads, so you have to choose one to display. I think I like the robot one, but I do like them all on some level, and it is really hard to choose. But I feel like the robot one kind of goes best with how I display my other ones. Also, what's up, Rhino Hobbies? How you doing? But yeah, I haven't decided how I want to display Operative, but what I do love is I guess it doesn't. Of course, I swapped it over. I love the paint apps. The colors on this guy are just absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely, just love it. Absolutely love it, man. And then I just knocked it all on the ground. I'm so smart. I'm so good at this. I'm good at toys, everyone. It's fine. They're fine. Nothing broke. Oh, there it is. I was like, I know something fell. Oh, because I've got the tacky shirt. Favorite Weird Al parody? Oh, dude, I honestly, I don't know. It's tough to say. Probably. Oh man, that's tough to choose a favorite. I think my favorite for a while. For a while, I think I liked Bad Hair Day as an album the best of all of his albums. And Amish Paradise was the first song of his, yeah, it was the first song of his that I memorized all the lyrics to. So I'm probably gonna say Amish Paradise just because I'm just messing with stuff now. The Saga Begins is a good one, but I just don't like the song that he parodied. I don't I hate American Pie. It's such a dumb song. Um but it's a good parody, and it's a good song for Star Wars. Like it's if you want a song that recreates the Phantom Menace plot, that's the one you go with. If I'm gonna choose one of his Star Wars song, I'd go Yoda. Like I feel like that's a better song. Lola is a much better song than American Pie, and Yoda's a better parody. So but you know what? I also really I like his like non-parody songs, like the story songs, like Albuquerque, um, Trapped in the Drive-Through is a good one. I guess that one is a parody though, isn't that? It's like a parody of Trapped in the Closet. I I love the Food album. That was actually the first album of his I ever bought because it was the only one the CD store had of his at the time when I went. I met him one time. I met Weird Al one time. Um, I worked at Fry's Electronics here in Southern California, and his parents. I don't know if he still does. I'm pretty sure he doesn't anymore. But his parents lived in Fallbrook, which is down here in Southern California before they died. They died of a carbon monoxide poisoning. Like that's at the same time. Like that sucks. But he was buying them I think a new washer and dryer. And he came into the Fry's Electronics I worked at the time. I was in computers and like I didn't want to bother him. Like I didn't really talk to him, but it was one of those things like, "Oh my god, that's Weird Al just buying a washer and dryer right there." Um but he was super nice. Like everyone that wanted to talk to him, like he didn't make it a big deal. Like he just talked to people. I know some people got like he autographed some stuff for him, and like and again like I'm working. I don't want to be like I don't want to be like, hey, thanks for coming to our store. I'm going to pester you for being famous. Um, there's like a certain decorum that you have to kind of have when you're dealing with famous people, and working in jobs I've done, I've had to deal with that a couple times. Like same place, Fry's Electronics. Um, this is not as cool as it was when it happened because he's kind of a piece of shit. But I knew he was then too. But Richard Dreyfuss, he was a dirty old man, but he came in a bunch to Fry's Electronics, and I helped him a lot. To the point where like he would come find me to help him out because like he thought I liked his jokes, and they were 100% all just raunchy. Like you shouldn't. This would get you canceled today. Like it didn't back in 2006 or whatever, but today it 100% would. But I was just like, you were in Jaws. You can say whatever you want. I don't care, kind of thing. So it was weird. You know, it was weird. Richard Dreyfuss, what an asshole. Anyway, just over here bad mouthing Richard Dreyfuss on my stream about toys. Um, yeah, I don't really have anything else here. Uh, he does suck, and I knew he did back then, but it was one of those things like it wasn't public knowledge, so I'd always kind of like whenever I wanted to say something a little braggy, but yeah, you know, I met Richard Dreyfuss a couple times. Like he knew my name. He would come find me. Like, but uh, yeah, even then, I'm like, yeah, I don't really like this guy. Just some of the comments, you know, like that was icky. It was icky what you just said, kind of thing. Yeah, I didn't really have anything else planned. I wanted to open up toys, and I did that, and then I sang some songs. Richard Dreyfuss did have to deal with Bob in that movie. Did we ever figure out what was happening? What about Bob? Did we ever figure that out? I didn't. Um, yeah, so I don't know, just some stuff I've got going on. Like I said, I'm I'm back, but I went on away on a trip, and I'm back. Yeah, he does have weasel energy. That's perfect way of saying that. He's got weasel energy. I'm back from my vacation, so I'm gonna start I'm gonna probably punch up the script. I got one more pass through on my droid destroyer droid script, and I'll get that shot and edited. Hopefully, it'll be done this week. The people that are channel members, you will get a heads up on it first because it'll go live for you guys first, and then like a day later or so, it'll go live for everyone else. Again, you don't have to be a channel member if you don't want to, but I am doing a figure giveaway. If you do want to be a channel member, at least for a month, I'm giving away Phase 1 Clone Trooper. Speaking of channel members, what's up, Jess? How's it going? So if you want to become a channel member, like any channel member gets entered to do that. I'll do that in July. My first live stream in July. I'll do that. But yeah, I'm working on regular videos. I don't know if I'll do a video on these guys. Like I've always wanted to, but frankly, like when I do videos that aren't Black Series, no one I don't want to say no one watches them because obviously people watch them. It's not like the view count stays at 0, but people don't come to my channel for stuff that's not Black Series, and to an extent GI Joe. My GI Joe videos, excuse me, my GI Joe videos do pretty well when I make them. So I'll probably, but I do like Mythic Legions and Cosmic Legions and stuff, and I want to do those, but it's just really hard to put a lot of work into a video that just doesn't get watched by a lot of people. You know, it's just, but that's also not why I make videos. So I have to keep telling myself that, like, make the videos you want to make. Don't worry about who's going to watch them. And that's kind of what tripped me up back when I was going through stuff where I just felt like people had stopped watching my videos. And they had, you know, my views have tanked compared to what they used to be. And that's just the nature of YouTube for the most part. Like YouTube is just like that sometimes. Like it's just a fickle mistress. Like you can be the belle of the ball and they'll put all your videos and all the links for people to watch, and then one day they just stop. They just stop and they start promoting someone else, and you had your time and that was your time, and now it's someone else's time. But I never made videos to get views. I made videos because I'm on the spectrum and I just really like talking about toys. It's my special interest. And so I like to info dump. I love to info dump on about toys. So it's nice to have an outlet for that. And I was serious. I don't know if you watched my channel update video, but I was serious about, like, my therapist is like, it's really good for you to do that. You should get into that more. Like, it's a good outlet. It's a healthy outlet for you to have to be creative and make videos. So that's why I'm doing it. So I'm not going to prioritize these. I'll do videos on these when there's not videos on other stuff to do first. So that's my hierarchy. I'm not doing unboxings anymore. And I feel bad because there are people that came to my channel to watch me unbox stuff. And I just, that's not something I'm interested in doing anymore. It's not that people aren't watching or whatever. It's just not, like, it was fun. It was a fad. But the time for unboxings, like the loot crates and the geek fuels, that time is done. But I'm going to be doing Black Series videos. That's my priority. And then if there's GI Joes, I'll do that. And then if I've still got time and maybe there's like a lull and other stuff, or I just want to throw something out, I'll do a Mythic Legions or a Cosmic Legions or a Figure Obscura and do like a full on video for those. So that's how I'm putting the priority on my channel. So again, like right now, I've got a docket of I've got to do a Destroyer Droid video, and then I'm gonna do a video on the Phase 2 or Phase 1 Clone Trooper, which is not gonna be a big video because I've reviewed like 5 Clone Trooper releases this year so far. So, you know, there's just so many clones this year. Everyone's cloners. Dude, therapy does work. It really does. And it was one of those things like I didn't you never feel like you need therapy. Like you'll never get to a point where you're like, man, I need therapy. But I kind of did where I was like, you know what? Maybe it would help to talk to someone. Like I've got friends, I've got a wife who loves me, but there's just something about talking to a complete stranger who's trained at being able to listen to somebody where they're not worried about talking about themselves at all. They're just there to talk to you about you. And it really does work. It's so nice. Yeah, focusing on a channel or just some kind of hobby. Um, it's nice, and that was one of the things where like I was really disappointed I didn't stream before today. Like I really wanted to stream Friday. I wanted to stream Saturday, and like stuff just kept getting away because streaming is like a bigger deal. Like I don't want to stream for like a half hour. I want to be able to stream for however long I'm going to stream. And if that's an hour and a half or 3 hours, like I just want it to kind of naturally go through its thing. I didn't know how long this would take to do. So I kept putting it off. And then I was like, it's Sunday night. If I don't do it, like I feel like I'm not going to do it. So I made myself live stream tonight and I love it. I love it that people are here. That's also true, Jess. The boxes did turn into complete garbage. And you know it's funny because like I'm I kind of got to be friends with Chaz from Geek Fuel. Like we talked on the phone a bunch about like what would make Geek Fuel better and stuff like that. And I think for what boxes cost and the cost of certain things that go in them, I think when they first started, they were getting really good deals on stuff where they were just being able to put like crazy stuff in boxes and keeping the price down as it was kind of a new thing. But then as people just kind of figured out what loot boxes were and whatnot, it kind of lost its luster. And then it was harder to get stuff to fill those boxes and keep costs down. Um, that's why it feels like the stuff that was in boxes kind of turned to crap, and that's because they couldn't afford to get cool stuff in those boxes. Uh, it's just the nature of things. It was a fad that ran its course, and now for the most part, it's gone. Zooboy hates streaming for long periods of time. Got to be an hour max. I mean, that's the way like Dan does it. So like we do. I'm on Dan's channel, the Toy Secret Galaxy. I keep saying Toy Galaxy, it's Secret Galaxy. He likes to stream Saturday nights sometimes, but it's not like every week because he doesn't feel like doing it every week too. But when he does stream and he invites me on, I'm kind of the co-host with his wife Kate, who's like just a voice, a disembodied voice. Like I'm on the screen with him, and like he doesn't like to go over an hour too. Like an hour is his jam. Sometimes it's a little bit over that, but for the most part, he's like, I'm going for an hour, and then that's my night. And I kind of got that was absolute cap. I kind of got that. But yeah, I don't know. Like I did a 6 hour stream. Was it last June? Last July on the anniversary of my brother's death. I always do. I always stay up late because when he was in the hospital dying, I stayed up all night with my brother. Like we were up all night because he didn't want to go to sleep. He didn't want to be left alone because he knew he was dying. So it was like a thing. Like, yeah, man, I'm here for you. We sat up and we talked all night. It was one of the coolest things I ever did. And now, like every year on the anniversary, I kind of still do it, where like I'll stay up all night in memory of my brother. So last year, that night, I was on Ken Plume's channel for like 6 or 7 hours. I think we ended up, and then after we finished on his channel, I started streaming on mine. until like 5 or 6 in the morning, and it was like a 4 hour stream on top of that. Um, so I'll probably do something similar this year. So if you're looking for a long stream, like July 1st, July 2nd, somewhere around there, July 4th. When is that? Let's let's take a look right now. Let's see. July 1st. That's a Monday, Tuesday. I'll probably end up taking those days off work. Um, so I might stream that time, and then like man, that whole week might just be a wash because July 4th is Thursday, and like who's gonna work on Friday? Oh, yeah, I don't know. So I'll have to think about it. But I might end up streaming on that Monday night all night. I don't know. Yeah, all right. Monday, yeah. So if any of you guys want a fun stream tomorrow at 5:15, every Monday. So then it's good to have a set schedule because everyone knows when to come. And that's also, out of the basement does every Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon for them. It's morning for me. But Wilbon every Monday is like 8:15 your time. I know it's 5:15 my time. He does Monday night figure ball, and it's fun. It's a good stream. It's always fun. Zoo Boy is usually on it. That's less fun. It's less fun when Zoo Boy's on it because Zoo Boy is less fun than Wilbon Boy is. And I'm kidding, and I'm 100% kidding. Zoo Boy, you're fun. I sang a song for you on my on our Patreon stream last night. So I still like you. Don't worry about it. But no, it's a good time. I usually have it on while I'm working on stuff, and sometimes I'll say ridiculous things in chat while I'm going on because I'm usually finishing up my work day because it's like 5:15, and I'm usually I'll work a little bit after so I don't have to work as hard the rest of the week. I try to front load all my work because I get paid salary. Like I don't have to work if all my stuff is done. So I'll work a lot at the beginning of the week, and then I'll kind of push off the rest of the week. And my boss knows I do this. So if he's watching, hi Josh, he knows I do this. I think about you every night. It's only right to think about the Zoo Boy, yeah, and hold me tight. Sorry, I got a little creedy there. Sometimes I get a little creedy. Hey James, you made it. I'm so glad. Yeah, that's the thing. People, there are a lot of people that complain about salary because, like, oh man, they just want to work you overtime, and you're working all these hours, getting paid the same. For me, it's the opposite. Like, I get all my work done, working like normal 9 to 5, sometimes less than that, and then I get paid the same no matter what because of the nature of my job. It's great. I have a great job. I love my job. Um, where sometimes I get paid to just scroll through on TikTok because legitimately, I have to do research on TikTok sometimes. So that's just one of those things. And then my ADHD will get me going down rabbit holes, and I'll go, oh crap, man, it's been like 3 hours and I haven't done anything. It's fine. And then I'll go take a nap on my couch because I had a hard day of working. So it's a good job. It's a good job. Man, I got this like light cough today that just will not go away. I haven't been fine. I've been fine, and then today I've had this like light cough. Uh, uh, yeah, and that's the thing is there are people that have it worse. I used to have it worse. I've worked retail for my entire adult life. From my first job out of high school was KB Toys, working KB Toys. Then I worked Fry's Electronics. I think I worked Legoland somewhere in there, but specifically it was the retail side. Then I worked at the Apple Store, working retail hours, and eventually I had a job where I wasn't selling things in the Apple Store. I was doing like lessons and training and new hire stuff and onboarding where I got promoted, but still it was like retail hours. It's a retail environment. So I worked retail up until 2021, my entire life. That's like 40 years, like, well, 20 years of retail. Um, so I know how bad it can be. I know how bad a job can be. I know how bad it is dealing with the public. It's nice having a job where I don't have to worry about that. Question for me: what OT figure can you not believe hasn't been made yet, and why is it Bespin Gown Leia? It's the answer is Bespin Gown Leia with a caveat of Lobot, and both of those are from Empire Strikes Back, and I honestly have no idea. It's ridiculous that we haven't had those yet. But I also kind of get it. Like, there's only so much time in the year. You only have so many figures that can come out. And you have to, Hasbro has to balance stuff that's coming from new media. Like, they can't have a new movie, a new TV show. And notice I'm saying movie and TV show and not entertainment. But they're not going to have a new TV show and not do figures for it. They would never do that. They can't do that. Except for, I guess, Book of Boba Fett, which they kind of did that for. But then they have to balance, three other trilogies of movies and other stuff that people want. I think that they should prioritize original trilogy and just milk it until it's done. We got everything we could, then move on to the prequel trilogies, milk that until it's done. Everyone's got everything they want from the prequels. Then move on to other stuff, new media, sequel trilogy, the one-offs like Solo and stuff. Fill in the gaps for stuff that they never got around to making. But then that's going to be like 8 years from now or so. I feel like they really should just focus on like one section and just knock it all out. Just hammer it down. But the problem is, if you do that, you've got the people that, like, I don't like the OT. I only like the prequel trilogy. And then you're alienating those people because they don't want to buy anything from the original trilogy. Maybe they want just prequel trilogy stuff. And instead of going, oh, cool, I can save money, they go, well, I guess I'm not collecting anymore, because it's an all or nothing for some of these people, where either they feel like everything should be geared towards them so they can buy it all, or they're not buying anything and they're selling their collection. There's like no in between for these people. It's all or nothing, and it's weird. Yeah, the cloners will be mad, and I get you can't please everyone. That's why it's okay for them to sprinkle in other stuff for sure. You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. I don't like the OT. I only like the prequel trilogy. Yeah, there's definitely some big hitters. I feel like what I want them to do is go through the original figures from like vintage that they released, the 92, 96 figures or whatever, and just make a checklist and start making those in 6 inches. Well, I know they have a checklist where they want to do that for vintage collection, and that's cool. I want them to be able to do that too, but I also want them to be able to do that for Black Series as well. Like, I would love to have a vintage version of every figure that they made in the vintage collection. Like, I think that would be a cool collection to have. They can even make special packaging for it, or not at all. No special packaging. No packaging whatsoever. Literally just Ziploc bags. Put them all in Ziploc bags. Mail them to my house. Don't care. I just want them. Don't care how they give them to me. Put them in a t-shirt cannon. Shoot them over my house. I'll go catch it. I definitely think it's hard to jump around. Like this year, we're having a focus on prequels. Like if you look at everything, let me bring up my spreadsheet here. Numbers. In fact, hold on. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Present. Share screen. Window. Spreadsheet. Boom. Let's do something cool, guys, and look at spreadsheets for a little bit. Why not? Look at this. Okay, so this is my spreadsheet for everything that we've got this year so far, and we got some a New Hope stuff, the A list, Mammon Naden, the A list Darth Vader, a bunch of Acolyte stuff, some Ahsoka stuff, then Attack of the Clones, Archive, some Clone Wars, Clones of the Republic, which is distinctly prequels flavored. Even Gaming Greats is somewhat prequels ish. Holocom, Mandalorian, but then we've got Phantom Menace and a lot of this rerun stuff. We got a lot of prequel stuff this year, more so than any year. What's like even going back here, like to I don't have anything before 2021 because I started doing this in 2021. Um, it's just kind of interesting to see how much prequel stuff that we've gotten this year, more so than any other year. Like it's not even close. And then I've got little things for like partial new sculpt, deluxe, multi pack, just so like I can know I can sort things. I got where they're from, exclusive, mainline, all that stuff. So I'm a nerd. This is kind of what I do. This is how I pass my time. This is how I do things. Dude, I opened toys. I opened them. You missed it. I had a camera set up on them. I spent an hour opening, no, like a half hour opening toys. That's not my fault, Hilsey. So you came during the spreadsheet time, which is an important time for every live stream to have a spreadsheet component to the live stream. God, I'm a nerd. No, that's fine. I'll take it. No, I'll take it. It's my fault for sure, for sure. Yeah, those are one of the things where for me it was long wanted, but mostly because I was always just so curious how they would do it in a 6-inch scale. But you know what? Also, I'm very happy they didn't do it before now. Like I'm glad they didn't give us Droidicas in like 2017 or 2019 because I don't think they would be as good as they are now. Same thing with Super Battle Droids. I think like Black Series as a line in terms of looks and construction of figures, articulation, stuff like that. The line has never been better than it has now. And again, I've been collecting since the beginning, so I can definitely say things like that with some sort of authority since I've experienced it. But obviously, there's going to be a level of it's a little subjective. You might have liked other times a little bit better, and there are things where like it does feel like paint apps and detailing is suffering a little bit, and the prices have never been higher. But it does feel like they're kind of going back down. Whereas last year, a 2 pack of figures might have cost us $55-$60. Now a 2 pack of figures is costing us $45. Um, and there's people like this that don't like the new knees, where I vastly prefer how they're doing knees now to the double joint, the unsightly double jointed knees of the past. Yeah, it's not perfect, but definitely just in terms specifically of like construction, um, I think the Black Series is in a really strong position compared to other times in the line. Like I think the worst time to collect Black Series was like 2016, 2017. It was pre digital face printing. Um, the figures weren't great. The articulation kind of sucked across the line. A lot of elbows not meeting those that at least 90%, the 90-degree thing. They were prioritizing things like sculpt on the figures over articulation. And instead of finding a balance, all the faces, every face looked terrible because they weren't painting them. They were painting the eyes, and the rest of the face just had like a weird soft sheen to it. It was terrible. And Rhinos absolutely got it. As long as you can pull off poses, that's all that matters. How many joints a figure has is meaningless. It's the range of articulation, and especially on like I will die on the hill. This Phase One Clone Trooper as an action figure, as a toy, blows anything they've done before this away in terms of how it moves. Double jointed elbows, garbage. Double jointed knees, meaningless. Uh, this is just as good and looks better. And that's what's important. Yeah, 2020 to present has really been kind of the golden age. I completely agree with that. And yeah, man, those faces, they really need to archive literally every human face that came out in like 2016 and 2017, and get out some decent looking faces because 100% of them were awful. They just, I don't know if it was a budget thing or they're just trying something, but it was not good. It wasn't good at all for sure. And then they also, I feel like it dipped down a little bit around like 2021, 2022 when they started doing the shiny finish on faces, instead of the matte finish to make them all look like they were sweating. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I don't have any issue with how the Endor Rebel Trooper moves. I think it poses well. I think the problem is you just have that weird gap that having a double jointed knee would have helped because you would have had an extra surface to paint on to hide that big bald spot. I think what they should have done was change the base color that they molded the plastic into. It's using that lighter color so it stands out. Or if they use the darker color, um, as the base for the plastic, it wouldn't have stood out as much, for sure. That's fair. Agree to disagree on joints, man. Everyone's got their opinion, and that's fine. Absolutely no problem. You like what you like. I'm not gonna try to convince you that to not like what you don't like or whatever. Yeah, I'm really curious about that too. Are they gonna do anything for the TFA anniversary? I mean, 10 years is a big deal, and it's so weird that the Force Awakens came out 10 years ago. Um, I definitely feel like we need a redo on some of them, and I feel like if they did it, people. I feel like it's been enough time people might buy it, but it also might need another 5 years or so before people start to come around on it. Like it took a while for the prequels to come around. Um, yeah, they have their place. I will agree they have their place. There are certain figures where it would be better, but like for I mean I'm just gonna use it this one because I have it in hand. Like there's nothing that having double joints on this figure would do for it that you don't need to do. Like this is the pose. There we go. Hold on. There he's getting his senior picture taken. his class photo. So he's bending down. He's got his hand on his knee. I've had it in such a weird pose that the armor is not. There we go. Hold on. There we go. So I mean, like that took 30 seconds to do, and it was super easy, and it looks great. Um, I just don't have an issue with the double joints or non-double joints, unless sometimes I do. It really depends on the figure, but for the most part, it doesn't bother me at all. And I think they look better with the single joints, like on figures like Dagobah Luke, having that single joint as a cutout, hiding the joint in the folds of the pants, looks better when he's just standing up, which is 90% of the time that's how you're posing that figure anyway. So being able to hide the leg joints to me is better, is the better option. But again, mileage will vary. Some people like different stuff, and again, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I could do maybe a new Kylo from TFA, maybe a new First Order Stormtrooper. Yeah, I mean, the First Order Stormtrooper was especially bad. But I definitely think that some of the big ones, like a new Kylo Ren, a new Rey from the Force Awakens, a new Finn, a Poe that looks like a human being. I think that'd be fine. Yeah, I just it just it's nuts. It's so hard. It's so hard to be a Star Wars fan right now. Not because it's hard to be public about being a Star Wars fan, because there are a certain section of the people out there that if you say something positive about something that they don't like, instead of just letting you like what you like and move on with your life, they'll feel the need to say something about it. Like, they don't need to say anything about it, but they sure will let you know how could you like this? How can you be a fan and like this? Things like that. Like, I just am. I mean, it's one of the definitions of being a fan of something is liking it. Like, it's hard to be a fan of something and not like it. But they try, and it's just so weird that they care so much about what other people like, and they think that you liking it will like somehow make their not liking it less. I don't know what I'm saying there. It's just they're so weird about it. They're just so weird about it, and that's a lot of it. It's that toxic YouTube Kool-Aid that they just love to drink, and I don't want any part of that. I don't even want to sit on there and hate on them back. I go comment on it, but like as as soon as you start, I feel like as soon as you start engaging in it, you've already lost. Which sounds counterproductive because a lot of the stuff needs to be addressed. Like, for instance, this is so stupid. Fires in space. Like, I watched The Acolyte. I enjoyed it. It's not my favorite Star Wars thing ever. At least not yet. It's only been 2 episodes. Like, a lot can change, a lot can happen. But the first 2 episodes were entertaining, and it was enough to make me want to watch more episodes. But like, if the first 2 episodes were all that it had, okay, it's definitely Star Wars, but it's not like the best Star Wars thing in the world. But it's hard to judge that without seeing the whole story. But there's a scene where there's a fire in space. It's a and people have like they've decided to latch on to that, and somehow that is the biggest problem, or one of the biggest problems. Where like, have you not watched Star Wars? I can give you a bunch of examples in the original trilogy and prequel trilogy where there's just a fire in space. And I'm not even talking about explosions. I know a lot of people keep bringing up pictures of explosions. And like, everyone knows, yeah, it explodes, all the air gets used up, and then the fire goes out, but it's an explosion. Like, would the explosion necessarily look like that? No, but an explosion is a momentary thing and not a continuous fire. Sure. But there are also continuous fires in space in both original and prequel trilogy. In the Phantom Menace, the hyperdrive or whatever catches on fire, and they have to release R2 units to go repair it. While they're doing that, there is just a fire going on. It's just on, Padme's ship is just on fire in space. In Return of the Jedi, when the A-wing crashes into the bridge of the executor, I think I'll say executor. It starts exploding, catching on fire. As it's catching on fire, it's somehow sinking, like it's a ship in the ocean, and it's falling down like there's gravity, and crashes into the Death Star. While it's on fire, there's a continuous fire going on, but they don't want to look at that. They just want to latch onto this and act like it's the only time that's ever happened, so they can say, look, this is a part that I can hate for some reason, because they just want to latch onto something to justify why they don't like it. That's not the real reason why they don't like it. And I'm not saying, like, if you don't like the Acolyte or whatever, I'm not saying 100% you're problematic, but I will say most of the time, a good chunk of the time, the real reason these people focus on bad writing or fire in space is because they know that if they give the real reason why they don't like it, they'll get in trouble. Because the real reason is the fact that there's girls and people of color, and or not enough white people for them, which is just the dumbest thing in the world. If it really didn't matter to them, they just wanted the best actor, they shouldn't care what race or gender or whatever the actor is. You trust the process and the people casting that was the case. But they don't want to. The sun absolutely is a giant ball of burning fire, 100%. Is there more to it than that? Sure. But there is fire in space, and a star is 100% one of them. Yeah, it 100% always comes down to woke and diversity and all that, and it's just so tiring. Like, it's just so tiring. Like, who cares? If you don't like, and I'm not saying you have to like it. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Don't engage with it. Don't talk about it online. Like, creating content about it is only giving it engagement. So if you want it to do poorly, the answer is to do nothing, because no reaction to it, if that really is your problem, and if there are enough people that agree with you like you think that there are, doing nothing will send a bigger message than creating 3-hour-long YouTube videos about why it's bad and why you're right and why Star Wars is dead. Because the thing is, it's not. It's not dead. Jedi Master Soul is one of the best things to happen to Star Wars. I love Jedi Master Soul. I really do. There's little things on here, especially like, with like the mods were 100%. If George Lucas made the mods, I would have 100%. If someone's like, yeah, the idea for the mods were George Lucas on set one day. He's like, you should have some people on some scooters and make them kind of cyborgs. And I think that would, like if you had told me that's how that went down, I would 100% believe in you. Another thing that happened in The Acolyte where I'm just like, where has this been? And I've said this before. I've said it on Twitter and stuff. But like, there's seats that are robots in a spaceship. They're flying the spaceship, but then they turn into seats. That makes so. I love that so much. That they're autopilot droids. and they turn into seats. It just makes so much sense. Where has that been in Star Wars? How has that not been in Star Wars up until now? How have we gone 40 plus years of Star Wars being a thing and it's the first time we're seeing something like that? Like, that's nuts. Do I ever consider going down the Japanese figure hole? Figure arts may fix. I've got the odd figure art here and there, but I just can't. And it's not because I don't think they're good or worth it. It's 100% a matter of like space and cost. Like the price of one figure art is like four or so Black Series figures, maybe more, depending on the figure art. And while that one figure art is really good and comes with a lot of great accessories, um, for every one figure art they make, Hasbro's made 20 Black Series figures. So I just for simplicity's sake, I'm keeping it to just Black Series as a 6-inch line for me to collect. It's got the best options for different character selection, the best ratio of cost to what you get. But again, I have absolutely nothing against like figure arts and stuff. Absolutely. Is that chair secretly a robot? Maybe. There's only one way to makes the whole pilot goes down the ship in Last Jedi even more silly though. I mean, maybe. It might if you want to bring it out to that, but it also seems like those don't exist anymore for whatever reason. And then I don't know why. I don't know. Um Ultimately, I think that, there's something to be said for the way Ryan wrote the Holdo maneuver and how it happened, and it was important that it was a person making the sacrifice for that. But this is fine. If Star Wars is full of straight white men, it would be very boring. The whole galaxy can't all be white. That's true, 100%. Agreed. Very, very, very true. Yeah, it's a lot of it's just down to diversity, and I don't want to mix and match. Like I have SH Figure Arts C3PO and R2D2, and they're sitting over here next to my Hot Toys Darth Vader, and I love it. I love looking at them. They look fantastic, but I can't sacrifice budget for those. I feel like you'd agree with me on this because you collect multiple lines like I do. I just can't collect imports because I spend that much on Star Wars. I can't afford it. Yeah, that's very true. Like a lot of my budget, I mean, comes down. This is a this was a $40 figure or whatever, and it came with a lot of stuff. And I would rather collect a cheaper like Black Series line and then also stuff like this than sacrificing money and not being able to get as much other stuff. Holdo should have had a seat like that. Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the Millennium Falcon seats is a dormant L3. I mean, it could be. Absolutely. Pretty much all in on Star Wars aside from the occasional Dragon Ball. Or yeah, for sure. I mean, I do like a good Dragon Ball. I have a Piccolo. He's the only one I really care about. I have a Vegeta as well. But I love my Piccolo SH figure arts. Same issue with R2D2's jetpacks. He had them in the prequels, but not in the original trilogy. Exactly. And he used them many times in the sequels or the prequels. And it was even different. So like he originally had a deleted scene in the Phantom Menace where he fell off. Like I think it's after they land on Coruscant and he falls off like whatever the thing they're on. He uses it's literally just there to show that he has rockets on him, but the rockets didn't come out of the side of his legs. They came out of like the front and back spaces, and they made a toy of it. If you go look at the Phantom Menace R2D2, it has like rocket boosters that come out of the body of it. And then but they cut that scene and never got made or whatever. But then in Attack of the Clones and in Revenge of the Sith, suddenly he has rockets, but they come out of his little arms, so it's a little bit different. But then in the original trilogy, nothing, no, like no jetpacks, nothing there. Got bit hard by the mythic bug, and now I'm spending way too much. And it's hard. They're so much fun, and it's so weird. Like a wave will come out, I'll be in on it. I love it, and then like there's enough time in between waves where like I start to get better. Where I'm like, okay, all right, like I love mythic still, but I'm feeling good. I'm not feeling that the need to buy more, and then another wave will hit, and I'm right back in because every wave is always better than the last one in terms of like characters and things like that. So, hey, Wilbon, thanks for hanging out. I'm actually gonna go too. It's been 2 hours. I'm gonna go hang out with my wife before bedtime and stuff. So, I'm gonna hop on. I'm not gonna hop on, but I'll be watching Figure Ball tomorrow on Wilbon's channel. If anyone wants to hang out with me while we watch Figure Ball at 8:15 Eastern, 5:15 Pacific tomorrow. Go sub to Wilbon's channel. He's a nice guy. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I've got this little video right here because I said I would. All these people right here. These are my channel members right here. These people have decided to support me, and I'm gonna put them on all my videos. So thanks to all the people who do that. It's very nice. So I got a little video thanking them. So they got their name in this video. Because I said I would. It's just one of those things. Anyways, yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. I really do mean it. Thanks for being with me while I open up some toys and telling me I'm putting the wrong tail on the wrong thing. It's very and you guys are cool. Thanks for hanging out. I'll talk to you later. Bye.